Hi, talking to you from Portland, Oregon, where we're supposed to be up to our neck in snow and or rain at 4 a.m. That didn't happen until 4 p.m. or actually about 10 a.m. excuse me. So tomorrow it's supposed to start at 5 a.m. Derp, so it might actually snow. Anyway, here we go. So someone asked, do you believe it's a bioweapon with the World Health Organization and viruses and corona and other forms of beer? My view is it was introduced not to control the population, but to affect not only China's trade, but the world trade. I'll speculate that all those who know had already or were in the throes of selling their shares in stock market in anticipation of crash that would inevitably follow. Those not in the know will have lost a lot of money. Individuals are being affected everywhere. Rebuilding will take years, as it was intended by those who in the know. There's a presumption that people make that if they make up an evildoer that has power over the world, like a god or a devil, that at least there's some semblance of sanity to it, instead of shit we can directly check and actually look into and find out it's real. For instance, people who will not stop arguing about the Fukushima reactor, even when you point out an earthquake did it. No, and then they name some group. But anyway, pure speculation. Then why are you bringing it up? You're creating a conspiracy theory out of fucking no reason. It's a virus, just like the last umpteen times every fucking year some flu virus goes through. We're very lucky that most of the time the flu only kills 0.1% of the population. Now it's killing 30 times as many people when it kills them. It has a really long delay to it. People walk around walking wounded, walking pneumonia, waiting to happen. Little time bombs. Tick, tick, boom, boom. That is why the sense is happening. You don't sense anything. You've invented a world where people are doing this for stock market reasons, for the same reason Trump brought it up. Because you're a myopic moron and a fool. Well, let's talk about the stock market. I mean, in the case of Trump, if anybody's curious, the reason he did that is he'd rather talk about the stock market because he didn't think it was important. By the way, Donald Trump has been exposed to the coronavirus, most likely, or at least exposed to people who were, but he's maybe refused to get tested. Or maybe he'll say, no, I got tested immediately. I'm old. We don't know. The scaremongering is making people miss the bigger picture of what is happening, but you say it's the media, and really it's behind the scenes instead of right in your face, because the media is actually repeating accurate information. As I've said before, and I'll say again, CNN was an irresponsible piece of shit on September 11th, but they didn't actually lie. They just kept repeating shit as soon as they heard it without vetting anything. But they didn't lie. They didn't tell you that Arabs attacked the buildings. If they didn't, they did. Also, bad actors in the Arab population, Islamic fundamentalists, whatever you want to call them, are just freedom fighters, rebels, or just terrorists, took credit for it. No, that has to be Soros or something else, even though Bush was running the country or something. You're avoiding the big picture, which is every stupid year, we as a species keep spreading diseases during cold and flu season because we are a victim of it. And it's partially our fault for not giving it any, because as long as I don't get sick, if I transfer it to someone, I don't care. We're learning that's very dangerous. People are criticizing the shit out of China for not cracking down on these illegal wet markets where you see someone butcher an animal right before, right after it finished screaming when it was killed, so you can get fresh food. That was actually the reason they had the wet markets, is because they'd rather get wild-caught food than stuff that was grown on a farm where they have really shitty health conditions. They're traditionalists, and in some ways they're just like a vegan Nazi or raw food diet foodies in Portland. Morons. But not necessarily. A lot of the people, if you don't know about this, a lot of people, even state-run TV in China has acknowledged it, bought that food even if it was illegal because they felt it was safer during cold and flu season, not more dangerous. Reality doesn't mean anything to somebody who isn't worried about it killing them. I am worried about reality killing me. Last time we had an estimate of 6 inches of snow, we got almost 3 feet. The weatherman has been wrong repeatedly in a way that is in my favor, but he's still wrong. That means we have a non-predictable weather situation right now. That makes it scary for a good reason. But no, it has to be somebody screaming chemtrails and Illuminati and HARP. Because that makes people feel better, because they can just fight the reality that sometimes shit just happens. Your view and yours pure speculation doesn't make anything better and is shit. Mr. Dragon, I'm sorry, but I'm a little tired of hearing this shit. You're not doing anything that's going to help anybody. And what's funny is, I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson is like, is anybody going to listen to scientists because they don't seem to do it anymore? Well, they're just elitists who want you to worship them. No, there are people who are telling you facts that they can confirm. They don't give a shit if you respect them anymore. They just don't want you killing yourself because you're being contrarian and doing the exact opposite of what you're told. Like Donald Trump staring at the sun during an eclipse because someone told him not to. While that's interesting and might actually Darwin us into being able to observe passively how fucked up a person can screw themselves up so we don't do the same. See that? See what Trump did? Don't do that. That isn't really a productive behavior for a leader of the world, free, partially, world anyway. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say something that's going to make a lot of conservatives angry. There is a subgroup, a subculture in conservatism in this country, which normally at one time was the bedrock of society. You could have radical leftists doing shit. Now you have radical leftists behaving less irresponsibly. You understand that? Left-wingers are actually becoming the shushers at your library. They're turning into really annoying get off my lawn types. Conservatives used to be very reliably reality-based. Something fucking went wrong in the 70s or 60s or 80s. I don't know when it was, but you've all lost it. Well, no, it's a small portion of you. But the rest of you don't stand up and say, I'm not going to be represented by the stupidest person in the room who tells you to do the dumbest thing possible. And by the way, did anybody figure out that that's a really good way to sabotage America? I'm a little frustrated with this. Mr. Dragon, why are you doing this? Why do you believe that this is going to make anything better? It's about the stock market? Really? This is like people talking about gold. It's always, you want gold and blah, blah. Gold doesn't work. Or, well, we have to do the stock market thing. No, we have to do real estate. That'll save us. We'll flip houses. That drives up costs and makes more people poorer. Housing is a necessity to not die. I'm out here shivering telling you this. I don't have a place to live because everybody's priced themselves out of being able to have a basic necessity. That's like making, craft water, like Evian and shit. It's just fucking water. In fact, most of those companies just get it from a water tap, literally municipal water supply, not something special, and then maybe filter it so that they can keep it longer. A couple of companies flat out tell you it's distilled water. That's it. It's just distilled water. They add a few minerals in it so it doesn't taste bad. It's healthy for you. It won't go bad, and it's made for, get this, to be stored for long term. I'm seeing, I was going to do a video about this one channel, but there's this guy who's just a musician. That's all he does. But X number of years ago, he named an album after one of the dog whistle words that conspiracy theorists use, and he got a bunch of page views. So now he turned into a conspiracy theorist because he's a failed musician. And he's telling everybody, and I mean literally everybody, all sorts of bullshit about coronavirus and 5G because it gets him page views. Not because it's ever been true. Do you really believe any of this actually accomplishes anything? That's why I tell a lot of people that do this shit, I accuse them of being a Russian operative because it used to be we would just fear the Russians ruining us. I'm not so sure anymore. I just think some of you just want the world You want to watch the world burn. And that's fucked. Because we're stuck on it.